Welcome back to the Explainer. Now, if you're a scalper, you know the game is all about targeting tiny little market moves. And that means every single fraction of a pip you pay in costs is cutting directly into your bottom line. So today, we're going to master those costs so that your trading edge, and yeah, your profits, can actually survive. All right, let's get right into it. So let me just ask you this straight up. Are hidden fees killing your trades? You know, it's probably the single most overlooked factor for so many scalpers, and it's what turns a potentially great strategy into this frustrating break-even grind. It's time to find out for sure. Think about it like this. If your average target is just, say, 5 to 8 pips, a single pip of total cost can instantly eat up 15 to 25% of your potential profit. That is a massive handicap before you even click the mouse. Okay. So to fight this, you have to know your enemy. And I want you to think of it as a three-headed monster. Your total all-in cost is the spread, plus your commission, plus that silent killer, slippage. We have to account for all three of these on every single trade, no exceptions. So, Section 1, the scalper's hidden enemy. Because look, when your edge is razor thin, every single fraction of a pip truly matters. This isn't just about, shaving off a few cents here and there. This is about preserving your entire trading business. To really measure this threat, we need a specific tool, and that tool is the cost-to-target ratio. The formula right here shows you exactly what percentage of your profit target is being sacrificed just to get into the trade. I want you to think of this as your number one filter. All right, Section 2, calculating your true cost. Now, to make any of this useful, we have to get all these different costs to speak the same language, right? Spread and slippage, they're already in pips. That's easy. But commission, that's usually a dollar amount. The key to all of this is converting every single cost into the universal language of pips. Before we get into the math, let's just isolate the most dangerous cost of all, slippage. It's that invisible cost, right? It's the gap between the price you thought you were getting when you clicked buy or sell and the price you actually got filled at. It is an invisible tax that can just systematically destroy an otherwise profitable edge. Okay, here's how we do it. Here's how we make that dollar-based commission comparable. First, find your round-turn commission cost. That's for the entry and the exit, in dollars. Simple. Step 2, find the pip value for the specific pair you're trading. And finally, you just divide that dollar commission by the pip value. And boom, you've got your commission cost in pips. So let's look at some real-world examples. A pretty standard $7 round-turn commission on Eurodollar, where a pip is worth $10, costs you 0.7 pips. Okay, not bad. But look at dollar/yen. That same $7 commission is over a full pip. That's a huge difference. And on gold, it's 7 ticks. You absolutely have to know this number for every single instrument you trade. And hey, remember that invisible cost we were just talking about? This formula right here is critical. The spread your broker is showing you on the screen, well, that's not your real spread. Your effective spread, the one that actually hits your bottom line, is always that quoted spread plus whatever slippage you got. Okay, so now that we can calculate our total cost in pips, what do we do with that number? Well, we need a simple mechanical rule to decide whether a trade is even worth taking in the first place. This is what I call the traffic light rule. It's your instant go or no-go gauge. And here's how it works. It's dead simple. If your total cost to target ratio is under 20%, that's a green light. Go for it. Take the trade. If it's between 20 and 30%, that's a yellow light. Proceed with caution and really only if you have a proven high win rate. But if your costs are more than 30% of your target, that is a hard stop. You pass on the trade. Period. All right, so theory is great and all, but let's put this battle plan to the test. We're going to walk through a few real-world examples right now to see how this traffic light rule can literally keep you out of so much trouble. So let's imagine you're targeting 6 pips on euro/dollar. On the left, with a nice tight spread, your total cost is 0.9 pips, which is just 15% of your target. That's a clear green light. But now look at the right. The spread widens a bit, you get a little slippage. Suddenly, your total cost doubles to 1.8 pips. That's 30% of your target. Same trade setup, but now it is a red light. You have to stand down. Let's go back to that dollar-yen example. Remember, the commission alone was over a full pip. You add a small 0.3 pip spread, and your total cost is 1.39 pips. If you're only targeting 5 pips, that's a 28% cost-to-target ratio. You are deep in that yellow caution zone before you even factor in any potential slippage. That's risky. Gold can be a scalper's dream, but you have got to watch the costs. Under normal conditions, a 10-tick cost against a 60-tick target, that's a fantastic 16.7% ratio, a clear green light. But remember, around a big news event, that spread can explode, turning this perfect setup into a complete no-go in a heartbeat. So how do we stay disciplined and put this all into practice, consistently? We need a set of practical guardrails, some non-negotiable rules that protect us from ourselves and from a market that's just not giving us good conditions. First, you have to understand this mathematical reality. This formula shows how costs directly force you to have a higher win rate just to break even. Every single pip of cost is a handicap that forces you to be right more often just to get back to zero. And this is where the math gets really, really brutal. In a perfect cost-free world, a one-to-one risk-reward trade needs a 50% win rate to break even, right? But if you add costs that are equal to just 20% of your risk, suddenly you need to win 60% of the time just to stay flat. That extra 10%, that is the hidden tax you're paying to the market. So let's make this super actionable with a pre-trade checklist. A few of these are totally non-negotiable. Always use ECN or raw spread accounts. That's where you'll find the tightest pricing. Have a hard rule about news. No trading 10 to 15 minutes before a major release when spreads just go crazy. And most importantly, trade liquid sessions only. Trying to scalp in low volume is just a recipe for high costs and tons of frustration. These are your guardrails. Now to get you started, here is a general guide for maximum spreads. And look, these are not rigid, set-in-stone rules, but they're a good baseline you should test with your own broker. For example, if you see the spread on euro/dollar creeping above 0.4 pips during the main session, that's a big warning sign to just be patient and wait for better conditions to come to you. When it all comes down to it, it's really this. Think of your trading costs as a tax on your performance. You can't avoid it completely, but you absolutely can control it. After you've found an edge, your single most important job as a scalper is to minimize this tax relentlessly. And I'll leave you with this final thought. Take a really honest look at your trading. Are you actively managing every fraction of a pip, or are your costs silently managing you? The answer to that question could be the entire difference between failure and success.